Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to get ready while I talk about my Tinder boy horror story. So starting off, my friend convinced me to get Tinder. And I was like, okay, like what's the worst that could happen? So I downloaded it and right off the bat, I matched with this, we'll call him X. I'm not going to name his name, but we'll call him X. I right off the bat matched with X. And I thought he was really cute. He was a firefighter, whatever. So me and him started talking off of Tinder and we're talking on Snapchat for a little bit. And we made plans to hang out that upcoming weekend right off the bat. And I was leaving my friend's graduation party and he texted me and was like, I want to meet you before this weekend. And I was like, okay. I'm a very shy person. So when he said that, I was like, oh Jesus, okay, fine. So I get home and I'm like, hey, you can come whenever you want. And he was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop by because I'm hanging out with my friends. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He gets to my house, he has roses and one of his hoodies for me. So we meet each other, he gives me the roses, he gives me his hoodie, and we're sitting there chit-chatting for like maybe 10 minutes. And he was like, all right, like I gotta go. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I met him, everything was fine and dandy. So that weekend comes up where we had our plans. His family like belonged to like a golf place or whatever, where like you can play golf but you can go to the pool and whatever. There's a specific name for it but I can't remember it. So me, my friend, and X were swimming at the pool, having a good time. So we went back to his house, well, his apartment, and he had to go to his aunt's or something like that. So me and my friend just stayed at his house and waited for him to get back. Perfect time, like it was perfect. I enjoyed myself, my friend enjoyed herself. We just had fun. So we hung out for a few times after that, whatever. And then we made plans to go to the beach for the day, and my friend was coming again and his friend that he lived with was going. So I went to his house and I went with him and his friend, and my friend just met us there. The day was great. We had a blast. I was burnt, whatever. So my friend goes to work. Me, X, and B, that's his friend, B will be his friend, are going to X's beach house. X goes, oh, my father's there, so you're gonna meet him. I'm like, we're not even dating, I've known you for 2 weeks. What do you mean I'm meeting your father? Now, I've already met his mom over FaceTime with no choice, so I was like, alright, that's fine. His dad ended up not being there anyway, so it was okay. So now, we're leaving his beach house, we're going back to his place. I was so burnt that I didn't feel good. Like, I kid you not, I was as red as a tomato, no lie. So like when we got back to his place, I showered, got into bed. He came in to put on Netflix for me. And when he went onto his Netflix app on his TV, you know, you have somebody's account. And it said his ex-girlfriend's name with her, and actually I don't think it was her picture. I think it was just his ex-girlfriend's name. And I was like, that's weird. Like, why are you logged into your ex-girlfriend's Netflix account? I let it go, thought it was weird. So him and his friends, it was him and 2 of his friends, were out in the living room drinking and whatever. I was going to bed because again, I didn't feel good. So the next morning, my friend was coming back because we were going to the beach. I guess that would have been Sunday morning. We were gonna go to the beach again. And when she got there, X was like, Darielle, talking about me, can't go to the beach. Like, look at her, she's so sunburnt. And I really wanted to go to the beach again. Even though I was burnt to a crisp, I really wanted to go to the beach because I never go. And he was kind of down with it, and he was like, all right, fine. Then on the switch of a second, he was like, oh, I can only be 20 miles from the firehouse. What do you mean? I was like, okay, so you were down to go to the beach, but now you can't go because you have to be 20 miles from your firehouse. Doesn't make sense, but I'll let it slide. So I was upset because I wanted to spend the weekend with him. But he was like, why don't you two go to the beach? Me and my friend will go to Topgolf and we'll meet up with you later. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So that's exactly what we did. When I left his house though, he like wasn't texting me. Like, I was texting him, you know, wish you were coming, blah, 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 like, be careful, this and that. He was reading it, he just wasn't replying. So it's like, okay, that's weird, whatever. And then me and my friend were supposed to sleep over again. All of my stuff was at his house along with my friends. So just because we were supposed to sleep over. Then he texts me maybe like an hour later. Oh, I have to go into the firehouse early and I have to stay the night. So you two can't sleep over. Okay, so you went from you would see me later and sleeping over to now you have work and now I can't sleep over? Okay, so I was like, that's weird. I'm like, how much you want to bet he's just saying that so I can't sleep over? Now, whatever. I was like, whatever. At this point, that's how I was feeling. When we get to his place, all of my stuff and all of my friend's stuff is literally packed and sitting on his couch. All of my stuff was in his room. I had his sweatpants, I had his sweatshirt, which were now missing. So I'm like, okay, he took his clothes back, all of my stuff is on the couch and his door's closed. So I was like, okay. Now I wear contacts. So I was going into his room to like go make sure he didn't leave them there. And like none of the stuff, like none of his clothes that I had were like out. So I was like, okay, I know where this is heading. So now me and my friend are sitting on the couch talking to his friend that he lives with. And he was telling me, oh, we both use, because he was also logged into his ex-girlfriend's YouTube account along with Netflix. And his friend was like, I use it too, it's not just him, like if we're gonna get free Netflix, we're gonna do it, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, like I understand that. I was like, it just threw me off a bit. That's it. I was like, that's why I didn't say anything. Thought it was weird, but like if you're both using it, nothing to complain about. So we were sitting there talking and whatever. So his friend walks me and my friend out and he was like, all right, Daryl, like I'll see you around. And I was like, highly doubt it. And so my whole way home I cried, like literally cried like a baby for no reason over a dumb boy. So he ends up unsharing his location with me, all of that. He removes me as a follower on Instagram, but continued to follow me on Instagram. Blocked me on TikTok, but still had me on Snapchat and was still texting me off of his number. So now I'm annoyed. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. You can continue to follow me. You can continue to see what I am posting. Go ahead. So now we're not really like texting. I'm Snapchatting him, but he's Snapchatting me back. He's just not doing it as often as he was. Like he would leave me on open for like 2 hours and then Snapchat me back. This is where things get a little juicy, I guess. Me and that friend that I went to go see him with were going to a Louis Tomlinson concert. And we were going to New York to see him at Forest Hill. And the whole time we were going, I was Snapchatting X. We were talking, whatever. He was out with his friends. I was in New York. So I get home. When I leave New York, I'm literally leaving and going right home because I had vacation Sunday morning. So I had to go. And I got home at maybe like 1 a.m. and I was Snapchatting him. And he said, come over. Now, I was ready to get in my car and go. Like a dumb idiot. I was ready to go. So, I was like, alright. And he was like, actually, like, it's too late. Like, I don't want you driving. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, my camera's about to die. It's now 3 a.m. He now decides that he wants me to come over. So, I shower, pack a little bag, take myself over at 3 a.m. Now, I bet you know where that led. Okay? So, now it's morning time. It's like 8 a.m. Then maybe like 7:30. I'm getting ready to leave because, again, I'm going on vacation. He walks me to the door and goes, don't let this ruin your vacation. You ruined my vacation before I even walked in your door. How are you going to say, don't let me ruin your vacation? You ruined it. He, in fact, did not. But I didn't even say anything. I just walked out his door. So now I drive home, get all my stuff to go on vacation. I'm Snapchatting him the first night that we're there. And he was like, his actions were saying something different than his words. Like, he was telling me, oh, I don't want a relationship, this and that. But then acting like my boyfriend. So it was just like, this just wasn't lining up. And I said to him, that's exactly what I said to him. And he Snapchatted me back, like, on the text. And I was like, you know what? He can now sit on delivered. Like, he leaves me on delivered. So I let it go for the night and I woke up and there was an X next to his name. So he unadded me on Snapchat. So I was like, well, and I swiped over and all it said was, I'm sorry, to his words not matching his actions. And I'm like, well, now they do. Now they do. You unadding me. Yep. Okay. So that was that. I did not let him ruin my vacation. I actually had a complete blast. Doesn't mean I didn't want to scream, okay? Scream. I was like, okay. He still followed me on Instagram. I was like, okay. So, after that, I don't even think I heard from him. Maybe I did. Like, over text, if I texted him, I don't really remember. But at that point, then eventually he like blocked me on not on Snapchat. He blocked me on Instagram at some point, which was fine with me because I wasn't following him anyway. So after that, I never heard from him ever since. And then me and that friend that I always went with when I was hanging out with him, me and her and Zachary, I had his hoodie still, and we actually started a fire in my backyard and threw his hoodie right in it. Bye bye X, and bye bye your clothes that I had. If you guys see a difference in quality and frame, that's because my camera died, because I don't know how to charge it after I'm done using it, so I apologize in advance. I haven't heard from him since. I have no idea what he's doing, but hopefully he's doing good. He just broke my heart a little bit for a second there. But thank God he did, because I'm now with Zachary. And if X didn't break my heart, then I wouldn't have been with Zachary. So everything happens for a reason. And I'm happy it planned out and went the way it did, as much as I was heartbroken. I wanted to, I love where I'm at right now. So thank you guys so much for getting ready with me while talking about my Tinder boy. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, which will be linked below. Love you guys.